Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Nayo Oliver. Alright, and if you're new to this channel, I want to say hello. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy your time here. We've got a lot in store for you. Maybe. And if you're not into this channel, if you've been following for a while, I want to say welcome back and thank you very much. Now, both groups of you should probably know the one thing that I had to keep secret for most of last year, or this year, depending on when you're watching it. And that was the fact that I participated in Netflix's Squid Game The Challenge. Yay! In fact, if you watched my Japanese language video about this, then this might be old information made new. But if you didn't watch that video, well then you're in for a treat. Because today I'm going... Why am I talking like an old man? You're in for a treat. Anyways, today I'm going to talk about how I got on the show, and furthermore, why I went on the show in the first place. So, let's get this party started. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump back to the year 2021. Now, the reason as to how I got on the show starts with an embarrassing fact about me. Well, it's not that embarrassing, but something that maybe is unexpected. I hope it's unexpected. My cousin Sarah and I, we both are big fans of the TV show The Circle. Now, I quite like The Circle. She quite liked The Circle. We were watching it one day on that very couch. And we decided, you know what? Let's just apply to be on The Circle together. Yeah, alright. I think it might have been winter break, 2021 or late 2020. I can't remember what it was, but it was late 2021 or something. Somewhere in that time frame. Or was it August 2021? I can't remember. But Sarah and I, we both made our individual application videos for The Circle, and we made a group together video for The Circle featuring the both of us. And we didn't get it. We didn't get it at all. We applied via the Studio Lambert website because we Googled the show, saw that Studio Lambert was the one producing it, and we applied. And they didn't like us, so we didn't pass on to the next round. But as luck would have it, I signed up for the newsletter, or for the notification letter, for the emails. I signed up for that. So fast forward, I think a couple months later, into March of 2022, I remember getting an email all of a sudden. It's a wild email about the Squid Game TV show. And I thought, well, I didn't even watch that show, but let's click on this and see what it is. Lo and behold, it was a casting call for the Squid Game's reality show casting. It was a casting call for the Squid Game reality show. And at the time, I had never actually really cared too much about Squid Game. I think I watched it once, and I thought it was important enough from a cultural point of view, but it was too gory and scary for me. I like Disney movies. I'm a big child. But I applied on a whim. I said, you know what? Yeah, screw it. I was actually leaving my last teaching job. I didn't know what my next job was going to be. I didn't know when shooting was going to be, but I thought, oh, you know what? I reckon I might have some time in the future for this. Let's just apply and see what happens. And then fast forward another 6 months. But before you fast forward, cue me forgetting about it. I forgot I applied. I just shot my video, sent it in, out of sight, out of mind. And then fast forward now, 6 months later until October. And on the end of October, I got another wild email from Studio Lambert saying, congratulations, you passed. And I forgot all about it. I was like, I passed what? And I looked to read more of the email and I was like, oh wow, I passed the audition process for Squid Game The Challenge casting. They must need people. And they did. They needed hella people. So I was lucky enough to be casted that way, but that's how I got on the show. I just applied. I went to the Studio Lambert website. I saw their casting, and I applied for The Circle. Didn't get it, but whilst I was there, I signed up for the newsletter. And then I got their email months later announcing the casting call for Squid Game, the challenge. I signed up for that, and it was like that. Of course, afterwards, there was a plethora of interviews and psychological evaluations and how to do a health check and all that. But yeah, the process for me was pretty straightforward. I just applied, lucky enough to get chosen, and then interviewed more and more and more, and then sent a bunch of paperwork. All right, now the other thing about how I got to go on the show was that I was lucky enough now to be working at a job where I could take time off. You had to take off, I think, like maybe 2 months or something, or 6 weeks at least. And I was, lucky enough to be at a job where I could do that. So that's another thing. So if you're looking to be on a reality show such as Squid Game The Challenge, you have to be able to make sure that you can take time off from work to go and risk life and limb, or just risk limb and limb for a chance at 4.56 million. All right, now let's talk about why I went on the show. to be honest, when I got on the show, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go for a plethora of reasons. First one being that I think I have what is known as, or what I'm calling, situational separation anxiety. I don't like changing from my situations too much. So, for example, I used to work at a summer camp a long time ago. I remember one time I did a 3-month stint, and I found it so hard to come back to regular life after that 3-month stint was over. But I was an alcoholic back then, so it wasn't that hard. I just kept drinking. And then another time, actually that time was Squid Game time. Yeah, when I went on Squid Game, just as I thought it would happen, it was quite hard for me to readjust back to regular life. It was like I'd been shot to the moon and then murdered on the moon, went to the afterlife, had to play in a game in the afterlife, lost that game, and then had to become reincarnated back to my life on Earth. It was very bizarre. But yeah, I had quite a hard go going back to regular life. But I think most of us castmates had a hard time getting back to regular life. I'm skipping over my words because I want to make sure I say everything. Oh my goodness. If you're watching this with captions, I feel sorry for you. My apologies. But yeah, so I didn't want to go on Squid Game. I didn't want to go. I'm afraid of heights. I was actually kind of nervous about being around other people. I was nervous about sleeping in the dorms. But there were a couple of reasons why I decided to go ultimately and why I actually ended up having an interest in the program. Well, the first reason, my wife made me go. She didn't make me go, but she really was like, mate, like, look, you've got an opportunity that not a lot of people have. Might as well go. It might be a good chance for you to build an audience for your music because everyone knows I want to be a musician and I am not good at social media. And yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm fine. At the end of the road, at least there's that. It might be a good chance for me to just, get my face out there. Okay, cool. And then I sat down and thought about more and I realized that, I did study mass communications in university. And, I studied movie production, TV production, radio production, all that type of production. And I thought that a reality TV show on this scale and magnitude is going to have a massive production, like an historically massive production. And I kind of want to see that. Like, I want to be able to watch this show 10, 20 years down the line and say, I was there for that. I saw how they did that. Like, I was privy to how this show was made. I mean, as much as a castmate could be. So that was the one thing that really piqued my interest, just, the mechanics of it, like what all the moving parts were going to be. And then the second thing that piqued my interest is going to be a little weird, but if you're an expat, I think you understand. I've been in Japan by that point. I'd been in Japan by that point for over 10 years, for such a long time, for like a third of my life. I'm still in Japan now as I record this video. And I'll probably still be in Japan when you watch this video. And it's a weird thing when you live outside of your country of origin for so long. You fall into this weird gray space of not being 100% the person who you would be if you were born in the country that you live in, but you're also no longer the person that you would be if you continued staying in your country of origin because the country that you know is frozen in the past. For me, before I came to Japan, I used to come back and forth between Japan and America quite often. And I lived here for a couple of years back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and then I moved back for good in 2012. So the America that I know was kind of stuck in that like pre-2012 era. So the America that I know now is one that's a combination of what I read in the news and my own memories. So I was a bit nervous to go back and be around other Americans as well as other Westerners because I didn't know how I'd go. Like, everyone in my job is for the most part supposed to be Japanese, the day job that I do to support my music passion. Everyone around me in my neighborhood's Japanese, my wife's Japanese. So, I'm around a lot of Japanese people. And I just didn't know how I would, I guess, feel about being in a room full of a bunch of foreigners like myself. Would I have reverse culture shock? Would it be a bunch of different culture shocks? Because not everyone's American. And then even if you're American, you could have different culture shocks from different people's states. So I just really wanted to see, what it'd be like to be with my peoples, as it were, for an unspecified amount of time. And it was great. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about myself. And yeah, I think I wanted to wrap this video up quite quickly because I didn't want to spend too much time droning on because I've got a lot of long videos about Squid Game with my co-stars. I've got more videos coming up with other co-stars that are probably going to be long, so I want to keep this short and sweet. But yeah, in summary, how did I get on the show? Well, I applied, and that's how I got on the show. Why did I go on the show? Well, because I wanted to see what production would be like, and I wanted to be around other foreigners. Alright, now, in the next video, I'm going to talk about just how hard the games were. The games were hard. And maybe not for the reasons that you think they were hard. So if you'd like to see what I have to say, if you'd like to hear what I have to say, you'd like to see how I butcher the English language even more, please tune into that video. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm still making music. I'm in a new band with my friend Bina, so I'll have a link to everything that I just said down below in the comments. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment. See you later. Bye-bye.